Everyone, ABC 15's Andrew James here on Riverside Drive, giving you guys a quick look at this scene here. Eyes are in the air right now for the search for Ralph Whitehead. That is a helicopter. The family told us Horry County Police is using that helicopter right now to search for Mr. Whitehead. As I flip back around to give you guys a look at myself, we're here on Riverside Drive in Forestbrook. The ICW is just to my right here. Several family members have come down here. This is a little bit, roughly 2.5 miles from where Mr. Whitehead was last seen Friday evening, according to family members, along Camden Drive in the Steeplechase neighborhood in Forestbrook, right off Forestbrook Road. So the search has been now well over 72 hours by family members mostly. Now we know Horry County Police has eyes in the air. Family members told me that Horry County Police vehicles were on scene or just driving through the area. It's a really difficult area for folks to try and look, as I give you guys another visual of the helicopter. That's now combing the area. That helicopter is mostly looking through wooded areas, trying to get an idea of possibly where people cannot get to, areas that are too tough to traverse through. And that's because we're dealing with a series of heavily wooded areas, heavily densely populated developments as well in between that. So you're dealing with door knocking, you're dealing with going through swamps, going through thick brush, and of course just going through people's property, trying your best as well in the search for Mr. Whitehead to respect people's property as they try and search for this man who's been missing now, according to the family, since Friday evening. And just to give you guys a better idea of his description, he was last seen wearing a light blue toned grayish t-shirt with a black Adidas jogging pants. And another key thing about him is he has a thick accent. That his wife tells me he's from Liverpool originally, so he has a very thick British accent. If you guys see, that's a very, very specific description. So if you notice anybody in the Forestbrook area matching that description, please call police. They have a non-emergency number that the family is asking people to call. So you may not want to call 911 exactly, but there is an emergency number for the search efforts that are ongoing here. I'm going to read that to you real quick. Again, apologize for the shaky video. Just trying to walk and talk and show you guys everything. But the number to call is 843-248-1520. So 248-1520. As we're now here on Riverside Drive, continuing the search. I actually caught up with his son Brandon earlier. They were over at the horse ranch right across the road there from their Steeplechase subdivision. So to give you guys kind of an idea of where we've been, I started off on Camden Drive. That's where Mr. Whitehead was last seen. I believe he left the neighborhood Friday evening, roughly around 10 o'clock. I think they got some camera videos, some home video that showed that he walked out of the neighborhood. So they knew he left the neighborhood, and since then they have not been able to find him. They've been searching through all kinds of wooded areas, development areas, as well as now through the air with Horry County Police looking in a helicopter. But to give you guys another look at where we are, we're in Forestbrook near the ICW, trying to check out any abandoned areas or areas that may be, not necessarily heavily watched. A lot of this area is pretty quiet, pretty calm, and so family members and relatives and close friends are now walking the neighborhood. There's more. They're all spaced out right now, walking Riverside Drive, either knocking on doors, checking, blind spots at homes to see if they have any idea where Mr. Whitehead may be. Earlier, we were over at a horse farm, and his son checked through trailers there, talked to the owner of the ranch, and they hadn't located Mr. Whitehead either. And so right now the search still continues. I know some of the close family, I want to say the uncle as well as the son of Mr. Whitehead, they're still going through the neighborhood in some areas because the neighborhood, like a lot of neighborhoods around here, is built and then it's butted next to swamps. So you're talking about dense forest, wetlands as well. here in the Forestbrook area. And so they're dealing with a lot of terrain in their search right now. It's mostly a search on foot by the family. It doesn't appear Horry County Police has begun an actual search effort on the ground. They've been in the air and they've been driving through the neighborhood. But you can see folks with the family here with the Whiteheads, they have been actively on foot, walking around, trying to locate any leads today as we now enter the third day of the search for Mr. Whitehead.
Okay. He was last seen coming down McCormick. You may mistake him for a kid. He has a heart condition.
That's some medicine that maybe
So you can see here right now, family members are going to any car that drives by, handing out flyers for Mr. Whitehead. And I'll give you guys a quick look at one of those flyers that they are using. So this is an image of Mr. Whitehead. He is described as 5'3", 130 pounds, English accent. It was last seen on Camden Drive Friday. And there's the number if you guys may know his whereabouts. I'll give you all another closer look at Mr. Whitehead. And he has a thick English accent, according to his wife. So we've been down Burkale Road, we've been down Dewey Road, we've been down all the way to the country club at Arrowhead as well, just driving, and we're now here on Riverside Drive, getting a look at the search efforts for Mr. Whitehead. Again, if you know anything, you're asked to call that number, 843-248-1520. That's 843-248-1520. And the big road where the family have tried to stay on a lot is McCormick. But McCormick is a mix of very dense forest as well as just some developments, but really larger developments as well. So it's a lot of doors to knock on, as well as a lot of just rough terrain in general. But looks like we're going to be moving from here. That is it right now for the initial search efforts for Mr. Whitehead. I'll keep you guys updated throughout the rest of the day on if anything changes. Of course, by the very latest tonight on ABC 15 News at 5 and 6.